The success of your intensives depends on the work you do in the weeks leading up to your client's arrival. These steps are critical for your client's success. This is a back and forth process with a role for both the client and the clinician each step of the way. Your client will complete pre-assessment forms. Several weeks prior to the scheduled intensive, you will send your client a list of pre-assessment forms they will need to complete. These will include things like history and background information that will help you understand your client's history and concerns. We recommend incorporating validated assessment tools and inventories to gather quantitative data that can help you measure your client's progress throughout the intensive process. Then you will review client information once your client has completed this material. You'll want to thoroughly review the client's pre-assessment information, history, and any other relevant documentation to be well informed prior to the intensive. Then it's time to clarify goals and expectations. As part of your pre-assessment communications, you will need to clearly communicate the goals and expectations of the 3-day intensive to the client, making sure there's a mutual understanding about the therapeutic process. Now it's time to set clear goals. Goal setting needs to be a collaborative process. Your client should share their own specific goals and objectives for the intensive to make sure you're in alignment. The two of you together can identify key themes that your client wants to address, which will help you focus your planning for the intensive. Then it's time to review expectations. In addition to their own goals, it's important for you and your client to understand and discuss the expectations, the format, and the structure of your intensive. You don't want there to be any gray area or confusion about what they're getting into. This is a big commitment for them and a substantial investment of time, resources, and emotional energy. Everyone needs to be on the same page. Now it's time to prepare therapeutic materials. Based on the content and goals discussed with your clients, you will then prepare your therapeutic materials, exercises, and interventions. This is where it gets fun. Intensives offer you so many opportunities to customize the therapeutic experience for your clients. Coordinating logistics. Many clients travel from other areas of the region or even from other parts of the country for intensive-based therapy. So your onboarding process needs to pay close attention to coordinating these types of logistics. It may involve things during the 3-day intensive, such as scheduling breaks, additional support they might need, as well as helping them understand the logistics of getting to and from your location. For the client, they too have logistical arrangements to make. In my practice, it is up to my client to make travel plans and accommodations if necessary for their intensive. I am fortunate, however, because I do have an on-site suite where my clients can stay if they'd like to, but they do have the option to stay in a local area hotel, Airbnb, or other options. We also provide a list of local area restaurants, options for grocery stores, and of course, coffee shops. Some of these simple reminders about things like this might seem small for you, but they're very important for the overall client experience. Also considering things for them ahead of time like childcare, pet care, packing lists, and so on can really help them feel less anxious about the process. You may also offer your clients some additional services that can ensure a comfortable and focused experience, wraparound retreat types of activities, tourist opportunities, natural attractions in the area, and so on. Now we'll want to pay some attention to creating a comfortable environment. Your clients are going to be spending a lot of time with you in your setting. If you're holding your intensives in an office space, arrange it in such a way that it would be comfortable and conducive for long sessions of therapy. If you'll be in a different location, make sure your space for therapy provides privacy as well as space for your client to relax. While you're preparing the material for the intensive, your client needs to make space to prepare emotionally and mentally for the intensive experience. You can remind them that this session will probably be an emotionally challenging time and may require openness to explore deep-seated issues. Alerting them to this will help them prepare, but you can also offer them some tools to mentally prepare for their experience as well. Either prior to a client's arrival or immediately upon arrival, your client should develop a self-care plan for the duration of the intensive. This should include practices or activities that promote well-being and emotional balance. You as well should prepare for emotional intensity. It's no small task for the clinician to spend 3 days with a client either. It's important that you take care of your own well-being leading up to the intensive so that you're in the right headspace to help others in their headspace. You can do this through engaging in self-reflection practices, seeking supervision and consultation with other colleagues, maintaining your own therapeutic support throughout your ongoing personal therapy, practicing mindfulness and grounding techniques, or maybe developing some pre-session rituals to give yourself time and space to be calm and focused. Discuss and establish emergency protocols with the client, including contact information for crisis support or additional resources if needed. Before the intensive begins, your client needs to sign consent forms, release of information forms, and any other required documentation. Typically, I have my clients complete this information on the day they arrive, first thing before we get started. And of course, you need to ensure that all necessary documentation, consent forms, and legal requirements are in place and compliant with ethical and legal standards. Open communication during the preparation phase of an intensive is critical to laying the foundation for a collaborative and supportive environment. These steps will ensure the 3-day intensive is beneficial and effective.